His Majesty the Sultan sends a cable of condolences to the custodian of the two holy mosques and greets the Chinese president on the occasion of his re-election. The Sultanate of Oman welcomes the tripartite statement issued by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Islamic Republic of Iran, and People's Republic of China to re-establish Saudi-Iranian diplomatic relations. Al-Nahda Club wins His Majesty the Sultan's Football Cup for the first time in its history after defeating a seed club in the final match. The International Conference on Heart Failure reviews in Muscat the latest scientific discoveries on heart disease and treatment. And the Embassy of the Sultanate of Oman in the British capital, London, holds a ceremony to launch the historical documentary film Treasures of Oman. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a cable of condolences to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud of Saudi Arabia, on the death of Her Royal Highness Princess Al Jawhara bint Abdulaziz Abdul Rahman Al Saud. His Majesty the Sultan sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Xi Jinping of the People's Republic of China on the occasion of his re-election for a new presidential term. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister, presided over the final match of His Majesty the Sultan's Football Cup for the sports season 2022-2023 in Sultan Qaboos Sports Complex in Boshir, with the attendance of His Highness Sayyid Yazam bin Haytham Al Said, Minister of Culture, Sports and Youth. The final match ended with the crowning of Al-Nahda Club as the champion of His Majesty the Sultan's Cup for football for the first time in its history, after defeating a seed club with an unanswered goal scored in the 20th minute of the first half of the match.
نهضوية راقي بطل النهضة بطلا لكأس ألف مبروك يا أمة النهضة، ألف مبروك يا أمة الراقي، ألف مبروك لمحافظة البريمي بأكملها.
The Foreign Ministry issued a statement as follows. The Sultanate of Oman welcomes the tripartite statement issued by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Islamic Republic of Iran, and People's Republic of China to re-establish Saudi-Iranian diplomatic relations, open their embassies and representatives within a period of 2 months. They also agreed to activate the security cooperation deal as well as the agreement regarding cooperation in the fields of economy, commerce, investment, technology, sciences, culture, sports, and youth. The Sultanate of Oman also expressed its hopes that this step will contribute in enhancing security and stability in the region and strengthen constructive cooperation, which will be beneficial for all the region and the world nations. The Oman Heart Association, in cooperation with the European Society of Cardiology, organized the International Conference on Heart Failure. 40 working papers were discussed within the participation of more than 400 doctors and nurses. The discussions during the conference focus on the latest methods to treat heart failure as well as the medicines in this regard. The opening ceremony was held under the auspices of His Excellency Sayyid Saud bin Hilal Al Busaidi, Governor of Muscat. the Embassy of the Sultanate of Oman in the British capital, London, held a ceremony to launch the historical documentary film Treasures of Oman, which embodies the various civilizations and cultures that Oman has gone through over thousands of years. The film was produced in cooperation between Nizwa magazine and the British production company Sandstone Global. It constituted the outcome of a visit made by the British novelist and professor Bethany Hughes to a variety of archaeological and historical sites in the Sultanate of Oman, starting from the Governorate of Musandam to the Governorate of Dhofar. The film will be shown on BBC World Channel and Channel 4, a public broadcasting television channel in the UK, which has millions of followers. The launching ceremony was held under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Nasser Al-Harrasi, Minister of Information. The Environment Authority announced the elimination of around 60,000 invasive birds within the campaign to combat invasive birds in the Governorate of Dhofar. The campaign contributed in reducing the number of such birds in the Governorate. The Environment Authority conducted a survey in a number of governorates of the Sultanate of Oman, which came with the results that these type of birds are spreading near the coastal areas, especially the governorates of North and South, Al-Batina, Muscat, and Dhofar. This comes within the efforts made to combat invasive birds and limit their spread in various wilayas. Still to come on News Bulletin. Dining in the Dark Festival was held at Sultan Qaboos University to highlight the talents of people with visual disabilities. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The Oman Civil Defense and Ambulance Conference and Exhibition 2023 concluded at the Oman Convention and Exhibition Center. The conclusion ceremony was presided over by His Highness Sayyid Dr. Fahd bin Al-Julanda Al-Said, Vice Chancellor of Sultan Qaboos University. It came within the Sultanate of Oman celebrations within the member countries of the International Civil Defense Organization. The conference came under the theme Role of Technology Systems in Risk Management, which shed light on the various uses of technology in contributing and facilitating exchange of information as well as dealing with dangers. The event also highlighted the equipment and tools used by the civil defense bodies, in addition to discussions on best practices to limit risks, as well as a number of recommendations regarding safety organization. At the end, a number of participants, including speakers and academics, were honored. The Association for Children with Disability launched yesterday the 8th edition of its Unity Charity Exhibition in Muscat, and we have more details in the following report.
Within its constant noble efforts and relentless pursuit to obtain the highest level of specialized services and care for children with disabilities, the Association for Children with Disability launched the 8th edition of its Unity Charity Exhibition in Muscat.
We, the Association of Children with Disability, are so proud that we are organizing the 8th Expo Unity. This expo has been a successful expo. You can see a lot of people visiting our expo, and they're very happy with the products that we are providing them.
I participate in this event to support the Handicapped Association, to provide the best services for handicapped people, to see them as a normal people working with us to provide the best services to see Oman at the top of the best countries.
The Unity Charity Exhibition also aims to support owners of small and medium enterprises and highlight their products and services.
The amount you're actually paying for the stalls, it's all for charity. So it's not the amount of the stall, you're actually giving just by participating. And that itself is giving those kids hope. It's giving them a better life, you know, the things they need, the facilities that can enhance their life. This exhibition helps us because we do need this. We do need this communication. We need this good vibe and energy.
One of the major businesses that I'm very proud of is Ash Couture. It's freshwater pearls jewelry, very affordable luxury jewelry. And then something very recent, we just opened 2 months ago, is a salon called Ice Cream Beauty Bar. It's a fresh new concept. A person, when they come in for a service, they get a free ice cream.
One of the main thing is that you gain a new customers and you build up your brand. Everyone and anyone who comes here, he knows about the brand. That's of course it's a very good thing that we are supporting, even if it's a small thing, but we are playing a good part on it.
Our aim is to support the association, and we offer dresses and abayas and all women dresses, and as well as perfumes and beauty spa.
More than 200 female entrepreneurs are taking part in the exhibition through multi-service pavilions showcasing various collections of clothing and accessories.
To highlight the talents of people with visual disabilities, Ibda Al-Basira Group at Sultan Qaboos University held Dining in the Dark Festival. We have more details in the following report.
Have you ever been to a restaurant where food was served to you by visually impaired people? Join me to find out and live this exceptional experience. Ibda Al-Basira Group at Sultan Qaboos University thought out of the box to engage community members to live the daily routine of the blind through an innovative initiative where they dine in complete darkness and get their food served by visually impaired individuals.
This is my first time to go through this experience. I was very happy to feel something which I have never gone through it before in my life. Indeed, I have seen those who are blind, they can do a lot of things where even more than a normal person. They experience through the eating the food in a dark room, and you can't believe it. It was, you need to use all different senses. I did enjoy it, and really it gives a message how really to appreciate what the blind person go through. And in fact, it was something very new to me. And the message also is really making any person, especially decision makers, to appreciate and try to support this type of disability people.
The activity was part of the Dining in the Dark Festival, which featured several corners highlighting the challenges encountering the blind in their daily life.
We did this activity to introduce the university society to the blind people life through many corners. Especially we have the big corner, which is the dark place, which is a kind of restaurant. People can go and inside this restaurant, and they experience how blind people can eat in the dark and they can see.
The event also aimed to shed light on the talents of the blind and their abilities to adapt to various circumstances. From Sultan Qaboos University, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
Chinese leader Xi Jinping was awarded a third 5-year term as the nation's president today. The endorsement of Xi's appointment by the ceremonial National People's Congress was a foregone conclusion for a leader who has sidelined potential rivals and filled the top ranks of the ruling Communist Party with his supporters since taking power in 2012. The vote for Xi was 2,952 to 0 by the MPC, members of which are appointed by the ruling party. Xi, 69, had himself named to a third five-year term as party general secretary in October, breaking with a tradition under which Chinese leaders handed over power once a decade. A two-term limit on the figurehead presidency was deleted from the Chinese constitution earlier, prompting suggestions he might stay in power for life. At least 36 people were killed by extremists in the conflict-riddled eastern Cogno, according to the Congolese military. The attack began late Wednesday in Makondo, a village in North Kivu province, 25 kilometers southwest of Beni, when men with guns and machetes stormed the village and started indiscriminately killing people. Military forces arrived too late to protect the villagers, according to a local leader who said the attackers left back into the forest with hostages before troops could arrive. Officials from the provincial capital, Beni, toured the striking village yesterday afternoon as villagers buried the dead in a mass grave. A shooting at a Jehovah's Witnesses hall in the German city of Hamburg left 8 people dead and an unspecified number of other people wounded. There was no word on a possible motive for last night's attack, which stunned Germany's second biggest city. Police said earlier that they believe there was only one shooter and that the person could be among the dead. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty the Sultan sends a cable of condolences to the custodian of the 2 holy mosques and greets the Chinese president on the occasion of his re-election. The Sultanate of Oman welcomes the tripartite statement issued by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Islamic Republic of Iran, and People's Republic of China to re-establish Saudi-Iranian diplomatic relations. Al-Nahda Club wins His Majesty the Sultan's Football Cup for the first time in its history after defeating a Seep club in the final match. The International Conference on Heart Failure reviews in Muscat the latest scientific discoveries on heart disease and treatment. And the Embassy of the Sultanate of Oman in the British capital, London, holds a ceremony to launch the historical documentary film Treasures of Oman. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios is good night and stay safe.